What happens when one bold statement triggers the collapse of a cultural icon? The View, a staple of daytime television, shocked the world when it abruptly vanished from the airwaves. At the center of the storm was Sunny Hostin, whose fiery critique of a powerful figure set off a chain reaction of lawsuits, fleeing advertisers, and backstage chaos. This is the untold story of how one comment brought down a media giant and left millions in disbelief. For over 2 decades, The View was more than just a talk show. It was a cultural phenomenon. Known for its fiery debates and diverse panel of outspoken hosts, the program captivated millions with its ability to tackle everything from politics to pop culture. The show thrived on controversy, with each host bringing their unique perspective to the table. Sunny Hostin, a lawyer and journalist, was one of the show's most outspoken voices. But the charm of The View was also its greatest risk. Provocative discussions often pushed boundaries, and over the years the show walked a razor-thin line between fearless commentary and full-blown controversy. It wasn't the first time The View faced backlash, but what happened in its final days was unlike anything the show had encountered before. Fans tuned in daily for the candid conversations that felt more like lively family debates. But what viewers didn't see was the growing tension behind the scenes. The production team juggled delicate topics, ensuring legal compliance while keeping the show engaging. Little did anyone know, one moment would be enough to topple the empire. A seemingly ordinary episode took a dramatic turn when Sunny Hostin made a bold critique of a high-profile individual, a person known for aggressively defending their reputation. While it was just another day of heated debate on screen, Sunny's words would soon trigger a cascade of events no one could have predicted. What followed was a storm that swept through the studio, leaving The View on the brink of disaster. It all began with a single segment, one that seemed routine by The View's standards. Sunny Hostin, known for her sharp opinions, took aim at a high-profile individual with far-reaching influence and a reputation for litigiousness. She delivered her critique passionately, calling out questionable behavior and raising eyebrows with claims that many found bold, if not reckless. Initially, the reaction was mixed. Some viewers applauded her for speaking truth to power, while others accused her of going too far. Behind the scenes, however, the atmosphere was tense. The production team was well aware of the risks involved in such statements, especially when dealing with individuals who were quick to sue. It wasn't long before whispers of trouble began to circulate. Producers tried to reassure the team, citing the network's history of weathering legal threats. But this time felt different. Sunny's comments struck a nerve, and rumors began to swirl that legal action was imminent. Then came the letter, a formal notice from the legal team of the individual Sunny had criticized. It wasn't just a warning, it was a clear signal that a defamation lawsuit was on the table. Panic set in as staffers realized the gravity of the situation. For Sunny, the letter was a wake-up call. While she stood by her words, the looming legal battle was a stark reminder of how quickly bold opinions could lead to real-world consequences. The first domino had fallen, and the chain reaction was only beginning. As word of the potential lawsuit spread, the mood backstage grew increasingly tense. The once vibrant atmosphere of camaraderie and spirited debates gave way to whispered conversations and palpable unease. Producers scrambled to assess the situation, while co-hosts exchanged nervous glances, unsure of what to say or not say on air. Sunny remained outwardly confident, insisting she had simply exercised her First Amendment rights. But behind the scenes, cracks in her composure began to show. Legal experts were brought in to analyze her statements, dissecting every word for potential vulnerabilities. The control room, usually a hub of focused energy, was now abuzz with worry. ABC executives tried to project calm, but their poker faces couldn't mask the underlying concern. The show had faced lawsuits before, but this time felt different. The legal threat wasn't just targeting Sunny, it was aimed at the entire production team and network. The specter of a multi-million-dollar lawsuit loomed large, and everyone felt the weight of what was at stake. The tension didn't stop at legal concerns. Advertisers, always sensitive to controversy, began to voice their discomfort. Losing their support could spell disaster for the show. Meanwhile, Sonny's co-hosts tried to carry on as usual, but their efforts to lighten the mood fell flat. As the backstage chaos unfolded, it became clear that this wasn't just another bump in the road. The very foundation of The View was starting to crack, and everyone knew that the next few weeks would determine the show's fate. As the lawsuit rumors gained traction, the first cracks in The View's foundation became visible. Advertisers, the lifeblood of daytime television, started to express their concerns. One by one, major sponsors began quietly pulling their ads, unwilling to be associated with the growing controversy. The impact was immediate and devastating. Without the steady revenue from advertisers, the show's financial viability came into question. Producers and network executives scrambled to reassure sponsors, emphasizing the program's long-standing commitment to lively but responsible debate. But it was too late. Damage control wasn't enough to stop the exodus. A major automotive brand was the first to suspend its sponsorship. Soon after, household names in consumer goods and retail followed suit, citing the lawsuit as a risk they couldn't afford. The show's once reliable funding stream dried up almost overnight, leaving the network in crisis mode. The departure of advertisers sent shockwaves through the production team. Staffers who had worked on the show for years suddenly feared for their jobs. Co-hosts, usually known for their spirited on-air personas, seemed hesitant and subdued. Even Sunny Hostin, who often thrived under pressure, appeared visibly shaken. As the financial strain intensified, the network faced a grim reality. The View was no longer the powerhouse it had been for decades. What had started as a single controversial statement was now threatening to unravel one of television's most iconic programs. The show was teetering on the edge, and the next move would be critical. As the crisis deepened, the pressure began to take a toll on Sunny Hostin. Known for her poise and confidence, she now found herself at the center of a firestorm she couldn't control. Behind the scenes, Sunny confided in close friends about the emotional strain. The looming lawsuit, coupled with the network's mounting frustration, left her feeling isolated and vulnerable. Publicly, Sunny maintained her composure, but cracks began to show. During one taping, viewers noticed her uncharacteristic hesitation and the faint quiver in her voice. Rumors of her emotional state began to swirl, and staffers later recounted private moments where Sunny appeared on the verge of tears. The tipping point came when Sunny received a direct warning from network executives. The lawsuit was putting everything at risk, and the show's survival depended on a resolution. They urged her to issue a carefully worded on-air statement, crafted by the legal team, to defuse the situation. But Sunny hesitated. To her, the statement felt like a betrayal of her principles, a public admission of guilt for something she firmly believed wasn't wrong. Meanwhile, tensions among the co-hosts grew. Conversations once filled with laughter and spirited debate now felt forced and cautious. The show's signature energy was gone, replaced by a heavy sense of dread. When Sunny finally broke down, off-camera, the moment was captured by a staff member. The image of her wiping away tears would later go viral, symbolizing the personal cost of the unfolding disaster. The end came faster than anyone expected. Despite the network's attempts to salvage The View, the mounting legal and financial pressures became insurmountable. The lawsuit had evolved from a threat to a full-blown crisis, and the network announced that the show would be placed on hiatus. For many, the word hiatus felt like a euphemism. Staff members quietly packed their belongings, while co-hosts tried to make sense of what had happened. The final episodes aired without any mention of the chaos brewing behind the scenes. No heartfelt goodbyes, no tributes. Just an abrupt and unceremonious end to a television institution. Sunny Hostin was absent during the final days of taping. Insiders revealed that she had met with top executives in private, where she was informed of the network's decision. Though they stopped short of blaming her outright, it was clear that her comments had been a catalyst for the show's downfall. As the news broke, fans were left in shock. Social media lit up with reactions ranging from disbelief to outrage. Some defended Sunny, arguing that she had simply done what The View was known for, pushing boundaries and challenging the status quo. Others placed the blame squarely on her shoulders, accusing her of recklessness. In the days that followed, Sunny was seen leaving the studio for the last time. The image of her tearful departure became emblematic of the entire saga, a poignant reminder of how quickly everything can fall apart. In the wake of The View's cancellation, the fallout was felt far and wide. Longtime staff members were reassigned or left scrambling for new opportunities, while co-hosts faced uncertain futures. For Sunny Hostin, the aftermath was particularly harsh. She became the face of the controversy, with headlines framing her as both a victim and a villain. Despite the criticism, Sunny tried to reclaim her narrative. In a rare interview, she spoke candidly about the emotional toll of the experience, describing the final days at the studio as some of the hardest in her career. She admitted to feeling conflicted. She stood by her words, but couldn't ignore the consequences they had triggered. Meanwhile, the lawsuit dragged on, casting a long shadow over Sunny's professional and personal life. Media outlets speculated about potential settlements, while fans debated whether the network should have done more to protect its co-host. The other panelists also struggled to move on. Joy Behar expressed sadness over losing a platform that had been a cornerstone of her career, while Whoopi Goldberg hinted at hopes for a revival in some form. For viewers, the end of The View marked the loss of a program that had been a daily ritual, but for Sunny, it was the loss of much more. A platform, a community, and a dream that had unraveled in the blink of an eye. The story of The View's downfall is a stark reminder of the delicate balance between bold commentary and the risks it can carry. For over 2 decades, the show thrived by walking the fine line between thought-provoking debates and controversy. But one misstep was all it took to topple the empire. Sunny Hostin's journey serves as both a cautionary tale and a testament to the power of free speech. Her fiery critique sparked a conversation about accountability, censorship, and the role of media personalities in shaping public opinion. But it also exposed the vulnerabilities of a system where a single statement can lead to lawsuits, job losses, and the collapse of a beloved institution. While some view Sunny as reckless, others see her as a figure who dared to challenge the status quo, even at great personal cost. The image of her tearfully leaving the studio has become iconic, a symbol of the human toll behind the headlines. In the end, The View's abrupt end leaves behind more questions than answers. Could the network have handled things differently? Should Sunny have been more cautious? And, perhaps most importantly, what does this mean for the future of open, unfiltered discussion in media? As the dust settles, one thing remains clear: the legacy of The View and Sunny Hostin's role in its downfall will be debated for years to come. It's a story of ambition, controversy, and the high price of speaking your mind.